When taking photos, a lot of people tend to just point their camera and shoot. However, there is a simple trick you can use to ensure better photographs by positioning subjects in a careful and pleasing manner. The rule of thirds is one of the fundamental rules of composition. It's also referred to as the golden grid rule. Basically, the rule of thirds technique is applied by dividing the image into thirds, both vertically and horizontally. This creates a grid of 9 equally sized rectangles and 4 intersections. For example, let's look at this photograph of a sunflower. In this version of the image, the sunflower, or the subject, has been centered rather than placed in the intersection of the rule of thirds grid. Since our eyes naturally tend to go to these intersections first, the sunflower in this version is somewhat lost in the background. However, when we apply the rule of thirds grid so that the sunflower lines up with an intersection on the grid, it's obvious that the sunflower is the focus of the photograph. You can also use the rule of thirds to balance an image by having one subject line up with one intersection and the other subject at an opposing intersection. Why does the rule of thirds work? Well, it all goes back to the golden ratio. Around 1200 AD, an Italian mathematician known as Leonardo Fibonacci noticed that a particular ratio, 1.618, occurred frequently in nature. Dividing an image into thirds won't give us the golden ratio exactly. 2/3 of an image gives us 0.66 repeating, not 0.618, but it's close enough. Should I always use the rule of thirds? It depends. Sometimes the subject is strong enough that it overtakes the other elements of the image, so centering is your best option here. What if you still aren't sure about using the rule of thirds? Today, most digital cameras and smartphones allow you to view your image on the screen with the grid overlaid. You can see how your subject lines up with the grid before you even take the picture. You can also try shooting both ways, one using the rule of thirds and one not. Finally, you can always crop your photo in post-production using image editing software. Keeping the rule of thirds in mind while you're composing and editing photographs will ensure that the images you produce in the future will truly showcase your subject.